one that you want to recap for us?
The network is bad, please. All right, I'll just reiterate what I did yesterday, what we talked about yesterday.
Can you hear me now, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Let me type it as a message on the box.
Okay.
Let me send it as a message.
Okay. So yesterday we were able to create this navigation bar. This is the home page. This is my profile. We created a profile. Since I'm having a bit of a network issue here. So created a profile and I said, okay, this profile section maintained two kind of a grid, a row with two columns, 1, 2, and I think 6, 6, they're equal, making a grid of 6, 6 equal. Then we move over to services. And what did we use in creating these services? Although we maintained the same grid again, where we said using a grid of 4. This is 4 plus 4 plus 4, 12. So if you add more, it goes down. Or then, okay, let's look at the code services. Let me fold the navigation. Okay. So here it is. And we said on a smaller screen that column should be 12. So which means if I should minimize this and view it on a smaller screen, then the services section should only maintain one, just something like this, because it's now 12. So one service per row, one service per row. Okay, so now then talked about this gallery. This gallery section, I think this is the section where kind of lost the recordings. But nothing new here. How was the gallery created? The gallery maintained the same flow that we have been doing. The same thing we did in services. That's the same thing we did in gallery. What did we do? After our nav bar, we created a container. This time around, we're using a container fluid because we wanted this image to expand. And then inside the container fluid, we created our H1, which is normal, and also added this text center to center this my gallery text. Okay. Also, okay, let's actually add a margin. Margin Y. That's to give margin up and down. Let's see, I've added a bootstrap class, good. So what next are then the images? We didn't just start pasting the image. Actually, we created them in a grid. So we have our row and our column. And each of these columns, we created a column of what? Column of medium of 4. So that is why we have 3 images in a row. And then we also added that on a smaller screen that they should display the images in 2s, which is column of 6. So that is why once we reduce this to this is extra small, to small screen, we have two images. Then I also say that you can add effects to images, and such effects are things like this. When you hover over them, it behaves, and so the size reduces. Okay, so I can equally add some. That's why I added this class. This is our custom class where we actually did some styling on the images. So what do we do? Let me go to that CSS. Look at this is where we did it. Image hover. So let's say I also want to the edges, border radius. So let's say we want to make it kind of round as well when you hover over it. This is another effect. I can come here and add and say border radius. Okay, let's say 5 pixels. Okay, so let's refresh here. Good. See, it's no longer the edge is no longer sharp. Okay, this 5 pixel is not much. The 5 pixel is no, it's not much. So let's increase it to like 10 pixel. So when we hover, good. So the edge is no longer that sharp. So these are effects. Although there are other effects you can add to images, or that is open to research furthermore. Now, you raised the question, Mr. Francis, yesterday concerning problems with when you reduce, just as here we customize we change the color, background color of our navigation, but that way we changed it here. But that when you reduce the view it in a mobile view, the color changes. And I said that's as a result of that's what we call media phase. So I added such effects here in the sense that if let's assume that the Bootstrap class I'm using, they also have style the media screen for that navigation. And let's assume that they gave it let me use this green color. Let me copy it. Let me come here and paste it. Okay, so let's assume that that media color that I'm using from Bootstrap, they also style the media color, as you can see here. Now, if I should go and override this one only, let's change this one now to something like this. If I should change it on mobile view alone, of course, it will behave properly. It will behave properly no matter where I go. Of course, the navigation will be red. But what happens when I go to mobile view? It changes to green, which is that initial color. So it's as a result of the ones that have this at media screen size. So what you can do is also create your own at media screen size and override as well. So what I can do here, create this at media only screen, the maximum width. So when it gets to maximum width of this 576 pixel, so how do you know how many pixels you can use? You can always research. Like I said, as a developer, Google is your friend. You can always search media screen sizes. Come here and research. Of course, you can go here. It's the first option. So I will show you one, and then I will show you another way you can actually take note of their sizes. This one is from FreeCodeCamp. Okay, they have maximum width of 480 pixel, so smaller. They also have, look at them, different sizes. They have 768, 1010, 24 pixel, 12 pixel, this for desktops and large screens, extra large screens. So this is where you can just research the media type sizes you want your this thing to maybe at getting to that media size, that size of the screen, it behaves, the color changes or it behaves in some certain ways. So another way you can do that is this way. When you inspect, when we inspect, look at this option here. Good. You have, this is toggle bar for the screen size, device, toggle device toolbar. Look at here, responsive dimensions. Let me reduce this. Since my network keeps breaking and coming up. Okay, so like as I was saying, there are other ways you can find out the different sizes. So look at this where you can check iPhone SE, look at the screen size 375, 67. So you can decide from here, okay, you can check, okay, Samsung Galaxy F7, you can check iPhone 12 Pro. These are different screen sizes for different phones. Different screen sizes for different phones. So as you can see here, they all have different dimensions. So this is 100%. Okay. Let's check iPad, Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra. Let's use 100% view. Okay. So this is where you can also look at dimensions. Max, when it gets to so and so, 412 or 915 pixel, behave in some certain ways. So this is another way you can do that. So let me exit. All right, so I believe that covers that question. So let me put back the normal color, green color behavior. So anytime you want to add extra features to, oh my goodness. So anytime you want to add extra features, maybe to different stylings to media screen view of any website, this is where inside here for this particular size. When it gets here, you can do extra stylings here. That's for the extra media at media screen size styling. All right. So today we're just basically going to throw a light on this contact page. We haven't done anything here apart from this navigation. So let's quickly do something here. So most of the things I'm doing from scratch or leveraging Bootstrap classes to just basically throw a light how websites are created from scratch. But most of the times there are tools, like I always say, a developer, your own job is to make use of tools that will make your life easier. Main thing is that, do you understand what you're doing? Do you understand the fundamentals, the basics, the foundation of that, whatever it is you're creating? That is what matters. That is what matters. So in the end, if I'm given a task now to actually create a website, or if someone gives me a job now to create a website, depending on if it's just a static website, I wouldn't even bother creating everything from scratch. I'll just look for templates and make use of. Why? Because I wouldn't waste my time on creating something from scratch, leveraging, and there are a lot of tools, animation tools, animation plugins that I will need to actually put in to that static website to actually make it look nicer. So those things take time, because by the time I started searching for tools to use and maybe cracking my head on the design, on the outlay, on the type of layout of the website, these things are time. So what I would do, I would just search and research for templates that cover that area of specification, maybe what the person is trying to create. If it's a static website for a hospital, I'll look for hospital templates, HTML hospital templates that reflect what the person wants. And well, of course, the person will have a brand. If the person doesn't have a brand, you generate one for them. What do I mean by brand? Maybe logo, color, of course, hospitals, their color could be blue. Can you also use red for hospital? So maybe customize everything to using that color. So that's like giving the person a brand and creating a logo for the person, getting a logo for the person and generating that website. So that's basically what I'm trying to say, that you don't necessarily need to build everything from scratch, but it's always best to know the fundamentals. That is why I'm just throwing more light on this. So if I'm trying to create a contact page, of course, let's say this is our contact page, nothing here, but I want, of course, first things first, I will have my H1 here, and then I'll have two column sections. Let's say I'll use the left-hand side to have something like a form, or the person will have a form, and then use the right-hand side to display things like my address, my social media handles, and what else? Yeah, that's basically it. Okay, so how do we go about that? First things first, I have to create a container. Create my container. Now I'm going to use a container field. So why am I using a container field, not a container? Because I don't want margin, too much margin on this, because I'm going to create two columns of a form and the other side to use as an address or something. So that's why I want to use container fluid. All right. So what next? Of course, my H1. Let's create my H1. So if I come here and create H1, let's say contact me. And then let me give it a bootstrap class to actually put it in the center, and also give margin up and down. Margin up and down. That's why I'm using MY, margin Y axis, which is up and down. Okay, so next things, after that, of course, I want to create a row, because without this row, I can't create my column. So inside my row, I now create my columns. Remember, I said my column, I want to create two columns. So this is column 6. Of course, column 6. Now you might ask, okay, why didn't I put whether large or medium or large? Okay, if I leave it like this, whether small or big or less in extra small, it will turn to 12 by default. If not, it will maintain these two columns. But what I will do is, okay, I will say, I'll come here and add on column small. I'll just make it 12. Yeah, on column 12, small. Just make it 12. So I'll just leave this one at maybe column MD, medium. Same thing here, because this medium can cover both large and small. All right. So inside here, okay, let me quickly just leave it. Let me create a H3 here. Let me call it message me, or rather send the message. Okay, so let me also add text center here. Of course, class text center. Let me also give margin up and down 2. All right, send the message. Let me also duplicate this. And then let me change this one to contact address. Okay, so let's actually view what I've done so far. Okay, yeah, contact me. We have send the message. We have contact address. Now, on this send the message section, what I want to create here is a kind of a form. So let's look for Bootstrap forms. Let's select this one. So I'll come here and copy this form. Where do I paste it? Of course, inside here. All right, so there are things I don't want here. Of course, I want an email, but I don't want a password. So this, I'll change this password to name. Yeah, it should be a type of text. The placeholder should be your name. Okay. Then this check, let me remove it. Don't need it. Change this sign in to send. And then I'll add things like, let me add another input field. Let me call this message, right? Of course, your name should come first before your email and then the message. So let me place this one first. Okay. Now I don't want to, for the message, I don't want to use input type text. So I'll use test area. Yeah. I'll use test area. Let me add this class from control and see what happens. Let me replace it with this. All right. Let me remove this. Let me delete, okay. Placeholder. Add the placeholder class attributes there. Let me remove this and view what I have. Okay. So what do we have here? Yep. Okay. So this is what we have. We have our name field, we have our email, we have this. Okay. So actually let's leave margin on this left-hand side. So I'll quickly add, how do we do that? Of course, that margin should be coming from the column itself. So I'll come here and add MX. So margin left and right, that should be X axis. So MX4. Let me do the same thing for this. MX4. Okay. All right, let's refresh and see what we have. Good. Good. So this send button, what if I want it to be at the center? Oh, that margin has pushed this other section down. So let me reduce this to 2 and this to 2. Let's see what we have. Okay, still didn't bring this one down. Yes, I just have to remove that margin. So this will maintain the 2 columns. Okay, I want you to maintain these 2 columns. So instead of using margin, I will use padding for this. Yeah, we'll come to that. Let's move. I want to move this button to the center. So how do I do that? I can come here and add text center. Let's see. That's move this to the center. Okay, it did not. Oh, sorry. So I'm adding this instead of here. The bootstrap button. After the BTM primary, let's take it to the center. Okay. Is the move. All right. Let's create a div for this button. Let me put the button in a div. so that I can move it, look for a way to move it to the center. Text, center. Good. All right. So now on the right-hand side, which is the contact address, what we want to do here, want kind of a contact address. How do we list our contact address? Let's actually look for different types of, okay, list group. Okay, let's look for list group. What type of list group can we use? Okay, don't find this one's nice. Let me look for a different. Okay, let's go to lists. This recording might end soon. So once it ends, I will drop another one. Let's use, see, that's the problem I have, trying to think of how to arrange or display some certain things. Okay, this contact address, let's say, how do I display it now? Okay, let's just display it as a normal content. Let's say home address. Of course, it has to be in a form. We have home address. Let's use form. Form. Network is quite slow today. Still opening. So as I'm opening, as this is loading, let me open up a Bootstrap icons. Because this is the one we use for social media handles. Yep. Taking time to load. Oh. Okay. This custom forms, this